by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
Nicholas Callis here with your fan headlines, powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. Not quite the game we hoped for, but the Steelers did win. 26-18 final over the New York Giants. And now the Steelers, they're 6-2, and they lead the AFC North going into their bye week. They're going to play the Commanders next on November the 10th. That's a Sunday. Headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. For more fan headlines, go to 937thefan.com. And the Fan of the Morning Show with me, Nicholas Harry Callis. That's coming up next right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
If you needed one more reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler, get this. Diamonds Direct maintains involvement in the entire diamond process and handpicks the best just for you. You see, any jeweler can claim to be a direct importer or have so-called partnerships overseas, but Diamonds Direct has special access that others simply don't have. Nobody can get closer to the source than Diamonds Direct. Indeed, Diamonds Direct is recognized in the industry as a world diamond powerhouse with unrivaled buying power and decades of inside connections that go back to their roots as actual diamond cutters. Bottom line, Diamonds Direct is without question the jeweler here that can truly offer the absolute best value. We're true talking direct importer prices on hand-selected diamonds that come straight from the source. Make no mistake, Diamonds Direct refuses to be undersold on GIA-certified diamonds. And we challenge you, let us prove it. Diamonds Direct, your source for the ultimate diamond value. Proud to call the Steel City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
You know what's scary? All the stuff that could be hiding in your carpet, all the dirt everywhere that needs to be taken care of. It's time to get ready for the spooky season. By eliminating all of that, don't ghost your carpet this fall. Halloween brings out the best in people, but it also brings out the scariest dirt from all the foot traffic. That was supposed to be scary. Go with it. Let's get it all zero-resified by calling the cleaning pros at Zero Res. They're going to walk you through the entire process, make sure you're completely satisfied with the cleaning before they leave. It's an amazing experience, and right now you can get your entire home zero-resified. 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at just $129. And get the ghosts and goblins out of your ductwork as well. $75 off air duct cleaning this month. The only thing scarier than all the dirt hiding in your carpet? Missing out on this deal. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResPGH.com or give them a call, 412-701-1188, and ask for the 93.7 The Fan special. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Have you been dreaming about a new shower to replace your slippery, ugly old tub? Doran Dickerson of the Fan Morning Show. PJ Fitzpatrick can install low threshold or low entry, fully customized jacuzzi shower system in just 1 day. It's surprisingly affordable and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Trust me, a happy bath makes for a happy life. Visit trustpj.com to set up a free design consultation and take advantage of all the fall promotions. That's trustpj.com.
Plus finance HMF low APR tier 1 through 2. Plus tax, acquisition fee, title, place, and dealer dock fee. All buyers will qualify. Bonus cash available on select trims. In stock units only. Offers end 10/31/24.
Get to Mike Hamlin Hyundai for huge end-of-year savings. Drive the new 2024 Hyundai Elantra SC or Tucson SC all-wheel drive with financing as low as 1.99% for up to 60 months. Plus $500 bonus cash. MikeHamlinHyundai.com. All Mike Hamlin Hyundais are backed by Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and the Mike Hamlin Advantage oil changes for life.
It's Nicholas Harry Callis here from the Fan Morning Show, and I did what you all thought I wouldn't do. I started Awaken 180. It was time, and yeah, it's easy. 21 pounds down in my first week, a ways to go, but I'll get there. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Fan is covered by Top Dog Law.
Top Dog get you top dollar. Go to topdoglaw.com. That's TopDogLaw.com.
Good morning.
It's time to wake up.
It's early, and if you're up, so are we. It's the early morning show. Think of it as a pre-show to the pre-show kind of thing.
Hell of a way to begin a day.
Tucking Pittsburgh sports before the sun comes up. The Fan Early Morning Show is on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
Well, you know what to do. It's a Reaction Tuesday. Steelers featured on Monday Night Football last night. They beat the New York Giants 26-18. Is it what we expected? I mean, they were up by a lot to start the fourth quarter. Game ended close. Giants ran some of the dumbest plays I've seen, though they were still pretty competitive throughout. That one 2-point conversion attempt, if you saw it, you know what I mean. Tried to run a picket fence play, like one of those screen passes out with like linemen not in the center by the ball, but lined up by a sideline. Really dumb. Really dumb. But the Steelers were not able to pull away comfortably as much like they did in the last couple games that they played. Regardless, there's still a win, and they were up pretty comfortably through the, to start the fourth quarter. So I guess that cushion that they got allowed them to win the game. That first half was brutal. A lot to react to, a lot of things to go over. If you want to get a phone line, please feel free. I invite callers this morning. 412-928-9370. My name is Nicholas Harry Callis. It's the Fan Early Morning Show, which is presented by CGR Wholesale, where the average Joe can buy like a pro. It's good to talk to you this morning. It's kind of reacting pretty much is what we're going to do probably not only on this show, but through all the daytime parts and even nighttime parts throughout the day. That's what we do after the Steelers play. We react, and there's a whole lot to react to. The fact that this game was tied at halftime is kind of rough. Definitely kind of rough. I don't know how to feel about these late starts that the offense is getting. I mean, a win is a win, and if they continue to win games, I'm not going to be overly disappointed. I just still worry about playing better competition. I mean, the Steelers are going to lose another game, likely another game or two, or maybe even 3 this season. And that's going to get them to where they could be at best. Not even to anticipate them going on a losing streak. It looks like they're a well put together team when they play in the second half, especially on offense. Special teams is great, by the way, too. I mean, you saw Calvin Austin run one back, run a punt back. So, I mean, good things are happening, and some special things are happening with this Steeler team, but I can't overlook just like how they're making it close. But again, a win is a win. That's it. I mean, they did well enough to beat the Giants. I thought Mike Tomlin said something unique at halftime. The reporter asked, do you feel like you're frustrated? It was something along those lines. And Tomlin said, no, there's no frustration here. It's just football. This is what football is. Paraphrasing, by the way, it wasn't his exact quote, but that's the gist of what he said. It's just football. There's no frustration that we need to carry right now. It's football. This is what we got to do. We got to adjust to what they're doing. So it all makes sense. I just put everything in the perspective of, I mean, if they're going to have the goal achieved of winning a playoff game. I just don't necessarily trust how they play early, because I feel like another team that, is a little more talented would be able to take advantage of that and perhaps take leads early as compared to just trading field goals or, trading even points back and forth. That's my only concern if I have anything to say about that win. Now, again, they had a lot of special moments. They had a lot of good things happening. Beanie Bishop with the game-sealing interception. I mean, that's all great. He's turning out to do really well after kind of watching that final play against the Cowboys a few weeks ago. Great game against the Jets. Great game here against the Giants. So it's good to see him have some good moments in these last few games. There's a lot of good to look at. There's a lot of good plays to look at here and react to. I just get concerned with the slow starts. How do you feel? 412-928-9370. I'm going to get to the phone calls right now because we're all reacting. I want to feel how you're feeling after the Steelers' 26-18 win over the New York Giants on Monday Night Football last night. We'll start with this caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Hi, it's Will.
Go ahead, Will.
I like the Steelers' win. I thought they did pretty good. I think the offense will eventually, get going. It's only Russell Wilson's second game, so I know we've been starting slow, but I think with him, as we saw, we were able to move the ball down the field. So, penalties are drive killers, so we'll eliminate that, and then we'll start putting more points on the board early on. And I like that they didn't quit. They kept applying the pressure throughout the whole game. They didn't get conservative, especially when we were up. So I did enjoy that. But I will say my one concern was the secondary. Felt like there was a lot of holes, so that needs to be addressed soon.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the call. Thank you. Yeah, it's not even like a Russell Wilson problem. Like when I say like the offense is slow, I mean like the whole offense is just not getting it done early. It's not even a Russell Wilson thing. I think Russell Wilson's playing well. I'm talking about, blocking not being there on offense, on certain plays, like some run plays got stopped. Penalties, I mean, Broderick Jones pretty early negated a George Pickens great catch. I mean, George Pickens also had some really great, he's great with contested passes. That's going to be his strong suit going forward, I believe, and Russell Wilson's the type of quarterback that can get him the football and put it in places where he can get it. Pickens is great at catching contested passes. So, despite those few bright spots, there are a lot of things to address, though. Like I said, certain blocking plays, and they got to get a little better. Some of those runs got stopped in, alarming ways. Russell Wilson got sacked a couple times. That's, of course, that stuff's going to happen. Penalties, though. Broderick Jones is really who I'm thinking of right now. Those penalties, they're just rough. And he's had a few pretty glaring ones now. At least he didn't have consecutive penalties throughout the game. But, the more that happens where he's negating touchdowns with really just penalties that don't even need to happen. Like he face masked the guy, and he didn't need to do that. Like he just needed to maintain that block a little longer, and Russell Wilson could have slipped by. Russell Wilson had more time because the face mask happened, but that's something that you didn't need to do. And it again negated a touchdown, so no good. Not good. So those are just a few things that I'm looking at where I say they started slow. Like there are a few things that were way within their control that I feel like could have been, adjusted. Play calls, were pretty decent. You just got to watch out for, penalties is really what's on the forefront of my mind. I'm not, a fan of those. And again, when they're preventing touchdowns from being scored early and setting a tone, it's frustrating to me. Tomlin didn't seem like he let it phase him, and the players, of course, adjusted in the second half and were able to score, and they won, right? And that's good on them. Me as a fan, though, I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to be like, hey, let's limit those as best we can. Please and thank you. 412-928-9370. Another caller on the line. Good morning. What's your name?
My name's Greg. How you doing?
Feeling good this morning. What's on your mind?
Number 19 is a speech that I said it before. You need to use him more on the offensive scheme, too, not just running back kickoffs. He's good at that. And George Pickens did not have his other foot in the end zone. He only had one.
Yeah.
But the guy knocked him out. That should have still been a touchdown. He knocked him out of bounds. He knocked him out of the end zone. That should have been a touchdown. And the Steelers, I don't think they'll lose another game this season. You want to put a little wager on that? Maybe a fish sandwich? or Permane Brothers sandwich.
I will not be
double roast beef on that.
Greg, I appreciate the call. I will not be doing any wagers over the radio, but no, I understand the sentiment. That's funny. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. All right, maybe. I still think they're going to lose the game again. I mean, they're not staying at just 2 losses. I feel like there's going to be somebody down the stretch that's going to best them. So, no, I will not be taking that wager. I believe by rule, once a receiver has a ball in his possession that it can be knocked out of bounds, you just can't impede the attempt to go for the ball, but the ball is clearly in his hands. I mean, I think it was a good call. So that's not too much to discuss there. Then we move on. 412-928-93. Oh, Calvin Austin. That's also who you mentioned. Yeah, I feel like what I've heard is that they have height concerns with him. Like, can he actually be a solid wide receiver at the shorter height that he is? He's running back kicks well. He's running back punts. You know, had a run back there in last game. So if you trust him to play receiver, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with that opinion. I just think that that's why they haven't put him in as much. I guess they're concerned about his height. But I support Calvin Austin. I mean, he's a great player. He seems like he works hard, and he's pretty talented, and he's quick. So, yeah, not much more to say there. 412-928-9370. Another caller on the line. You can get a phone line as well, 412-928-9370. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Old German Rod.
Nice to hear from you.
Hey, I think the offense is coming along. You got to remember, this is Russell's second game. Also, we're over 400+ yards. So my concern ain't there. My concern is we got to be able to stop the run because don't forget, we got to play Derrick Henry. So I would like them to maybe start faster on defense. I know it sounds weird because the defense has been doing everything, but they're not stopping the run. And I don't think the Steelers should let the Giants receiver, Derek Slee, get out of town.
Very good. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. 412-928-9370. No, that's a fair opinion. Even the TV broadcast acknowledged that the Steelers' defense has been pretty solid on the run and that they weren't as solid in the first half. So that's definitely an opinion you can hold. I mean, we don't need to completely absolve the defense of any type of criticism. That could be one thing, is that they struggled a bit with the with preventing the run. And yeah, so no, I'll share that sentiment. I appreciate that. It makes sense. You can critique the defense all you want because they certainly weren't perfect either. But I mean, if we're talking about the first half, I mean, they kept the Steelers in the game in the first half and kind of let some cracks through in the second half and let it get a little closer. But again, a win's a win in that regard, and that's what we move forward with. All right, another caller, 412-928-9370. Good morning. What's your name?
Mike.
All right, Mike, what's up?
I'd like to know how you can call that a slow start by the offense. They moved that ball right down into the red zone easily, 3 times.
Yes, and thank you for the call. They but then they kicked field goals. That's what I consider a slow start. Like I said, a penalty on one of their first attempts to score negated a George Pickens touchdown, which sets a different tone than a field goal, and then they trade field goals back and forth with the Giants, and the score was 9-9 at the end of the first half. So they got to the red zone, they got to scoring position, but then they didn't score a touchdown. In the 3 key opportunities they had to score, they couldn't get it in, and then they had to kick field goals. So that's why I consider it slow. Now, if your definition of a slow start is different from mine, yeah, perhaps we'll have differing opinions there. But yeah, I say slow start because they scored 9 points in the first half, compared to 17 in the second half. And compared to how they played against the Jets, I think it's all about expectations too. The way they played against the Raiders and the Jets, right, scoring 37 against a Jets team that we've now established as being a weaker team. You scored 37 against the Jets. The Giants really no better. Same record at 2-6 now. But a 2-win team going into that game. The expectations, I feel like, among Steeler fans were, hey, like a similar result to the game against the Jets needs to be had against the Giants. That didn't happen. They scored 9 points in the first half. They scored 17 in the second half and kept the game close. So that's what I mean by slow start. Now again, if you say, all right, yeah, each offensive drive had some solid plays, and if each offensive drive got the team into scoring position, then yeah, I mean, if you consider that a fast start or a fast way to play, then okay, then maybe they didn't start slow. My definition, though, is okay, how many points did they put on the board in that first half? And the answer is 9. And they finished with 11 less in total than they did against a New York Jets team that's pretty weak. That's all. 412-928-9370. Got another caller on the line, and we'll take this caller, and then I'll go to a quick break. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Nick. The play, I have two comments. The play where Pickens didn't come down in bounds, they called it a touchdown on the field, okay? So all scoring plays are reviewed upstairs.
Right. And
Tomlin, the worst challenge coach in the NFL currently, and has been, challenges a play and loses a timeout. Okay, he's on the rules committee. Okay, so he should know. Fair.
Yeah.
And so he challenges it. He loses a timeout. It didn't prove costly. Okay. And then towards the end of the game, I can't remember if it was the second to the last drive that the Giants had the ball. He has Highsmith and T.J. Watt on the sidelines, and he has 3 timeouts in his pocket. Okay, I get you want to save a timeout a couple timeouts in case they score, but you got to use one. Give those guys some rest and get them back out on the field. It just blows my mind some of the decisions this guy continues to make.
Yeah, I mean, I got no arguments. You can criticize how he manages time. That's been it's been a key theme for criticisms of him, is that he doesn't manage the clock well. And yeah, I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to that at the end of the game, but yeah, I mean, if you saw it, yeah, that doesn't sound great. So, sure, yeah. 412-928-9370. My name is Nicholas Aricalis. I got to get to a break here, but get a phone line while this break's going on. 412-928-9370. You can call me, and we're going to talk more about the Steelers when I come back. Again, my name is Nicholas Aricalis. This is the Fan Early Morning Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
The Fan Early Morning Show for the Average Joe, presented by CGR Wholesale, where the average Joe can buy like a pro. Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Traffic looking no problems to talk about coming in on 28 Parkways East, West, North so far to start this Tuesday. Feeling good about that Steeler win. From the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDK. I'm Rob Taylor on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
When your little one has a cold with a fever, try new Dayquil Kids Cold and Cough Plus Fever. It's the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Dayquil Kids Cold and Cough Plus Fever offers fast, effective cold and fever relief for kids ages 6 and up with a delicious grape flavor that kids love. New Dayquil Kids Cold and Cough Plus Fever will help them feel better fast so they can get back to the fun stuff quickly. New Dayquil Kids Cold and Cough Plus Fever. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
point. The current federal government is actually going $1 trillion deeper in debt every 100 days. That's why thousands are turning to Goldco, a top-rated gold company, to diversify their savings with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Right now, not only is Goldco offering a free gold and silver kit, but on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver. Call 855-838-GOLD. That's 855-838-GOLD. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by calling 844-300-LEAF to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water, and it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty, so you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Call Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate and to save up to 30%. Dial 844-300-LEAF. That's 844-300-LEAF.
Pony and Muller here. Mike and Mike's Beer Bar is a big fan of us. In fact, he gave us our own beer. Okay, well, kind of. Each month, Mike picks a local beer that we call the Fan Beer of the Month. The beer of the month for October is Penn Brewing Pumpkin Shandy, a lager beer made with pumpkin pie flavoring and overflowing with taste of cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves. The charity of the month for October is Young Adult Survivors United.
And if you don't like the Fan Beer of the Month, or you just don't like us, Mike has 4 other beers on tap that you can select, and he will make a donation to the charity. Check out the Fan Beer of the Month at Mike's Beer Bar.
Meet me at Mike's.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Waking you up with our first take on Pittsburgh sports.
They know how to wake you up.
It's the Fan Early Morning Show on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
It's the Fan Early Morning Show. My name is Nicholas Harry Callis. This is Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. It's even better when we know that the Steelers won a football game, and even better whenever we know that the Steelers, with that win, have found themselves in first place in the AFC North. Call me, react, 412-928-9370. I got about 10 more minutes to react, so if you have an opinion, if you have a thought, if you have a criticism, if you have praise, anything, please call 412-928-9370. My biggest criticism is that the offense only put up 9 points in the first half, and the game was tied at the end of the first half, and that the game ended close. I think you wanted to separate yourselves a little bit more from a team like the Giants, and they did not do that. But a very strong but in counter to that, my own point, which is still, a win is a win is a win. And that win put them in first place in the AFC North. And so that gives them an advantage. And now they got a bye week, too. So they've got time to rest and recuperate and figure it out and get ready for the Washington Commanders coming up on Sunday, November the 10th. 412-928-9370. Good morning. What's your name?
Hey, it's Danny. How you doing, Harry?
Feeling good. What's on your mind?
Hey, I just want to say, man, with Russell Wilson in there, I know they only scored 9 points in the first half, and the Giants were close again, but my God, the offense was the yards they rolled up. I mean, this isn't what was going on for the last 4 years where Kenny Pickett's struggling to make a completed pass or all the other guys we had in there. I mean, this is some serious offense now. It's really fun to see. I know they didn't score a ton of points, but wow, they looked pretty good. And 2 things real quick. The one caller said, Tomlin addressed that about the review call. He said he didn't know it went up to the booth or he'd have never thrown the flag. And also, with Highsmith and Watt coming out, Tomlin didn't take them out. Both of those asked for a blow because it was the end of the game and they were going no huddle, and both of them were extremely exhausted. So they both asked for a blow to come out. That wasn't a coaching decision to pull them out. So I don't know what that guy was even talking about. But Nice to talk to you here, and have a great day.
Hey, you too, Danny. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't remember there being a huge deal about anything being talked about or I didn't make that observation myself about sitting Watt and Highsmith. So I don't know either. But to each their own. Yeah, again, my definition of slow is they didn't put up points, and part of that is because, at least the Broderick Jones penalty. That's stuck in my mind because of a dumb face mask penalty. And it was a good call. He did face mask him. It's because Jones, had that face mask. You negated a touchdown that could have been had on your opening drive. And so when I say slow start still, it's like, okay, would I rather have a couple touchdowns or at least one touchdown? Or would I rather have 3 field goals? Yeah, I'd rather have the touchdown to set the tone and then let the field goals accent that moving forward. But again, if your definition out there, if you have a different definition of slow start than I do, I totally understand. They are much more fun to watch. You feel like there's more confidence now in the offense, and I totally acknowledge that too. There is more confidence to be had in this current Steelers offense than there has been over the last few seasons. I totally do acknowledge that and understand that. And it's not a harsh criticism because, like I said, I keep putting the disclaimer out there. Despite my light criticisms, they still won the football game. And that is what matters most, is that they won the game. And they can build on this win moving forward without having the penalty of a loss, but there are still some things that I think they need to clean up just a little bit. And maybe just, again, against the Giants team that's weaker, if the game was this close throughout, they separated themselves in the third quarter, but despite that, every other quarter had a close score. I just get concerned about teams that they're going to play that are better, that have more talent, that have better defenses. That's all. 412-928-9370. Agree, disagree. Just want to express any of your own opinions on the Steeler game, you're welcome to. That's what the phone's for. 412-928-9370. Got about 4 more minutes to take calls, so we'll just get through them. Good morning. What's your name?
My name's Eric.
All right, Eric, you're on the air.
Yeah, I was calling because a couple people have commented on Tomlin challenging that play. I was at the game. So they initially ruled it a touchdown, but then the officials came out and the referee said that the ruling on the field was that he was out of bounds, not that they had gone and up to the booth, but the ruling on the field. Well, if the ruling on the field was that way, then he should be able to challenge it. So the fact that they used, I forget whatever they call it, where they do the review and they'll just buzz down to them and all that. The fact that they utilized that and didn't express it to Tomlin that that's what it was, and they said the ruling on the field, they should not have penalized the Steelers and taken the timeout away. That was not Tomlin's fault. It was the actual wording of the referee that was wrong.
Yeah, thanks for the call. That's actually a good that's a good discrepancy there as well. Yeah, sometimes the referees do get a little vague with verbiage, I think. Or sometimes they'll just say things just to communicate one type of idea and they forget what they mean. So yeah, that very well could be what happened there. I totally get that. I think that the officials, when they talk, now again, it's tough to talk in front of people. Like, you're talking to a whole stadium and television, so you're talking to pretty much the entire football nation when you're saying things. Sometimes, there could be nerves, or you could just be trying to get the game moving forward, and you don't want to be talking for too long. I get that, but that definitely is a fair criticism of officials, that maybe just understanding exactly what you're saying is is a good idea. And instead of saying, the call on the field, you should have said, after further review, the call on the field has been overturned or has been changed to the receiver was out of bounds. Something like that. I totally get it, Eric, though. That makes sense. 412-928-9370. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Tom. Good morning.
Good morning. What's up?
Okay, listen, I don't blame Tomlin for that timeout at all. The caller before me just stole a little bit of my thunder. However, what the one caller was talking about was the very last drive of the game when Beanie Bishop intercepted the ball. Before that, there was an incomplete pass, and so the clock stopped. I understand Tomlin didn't want to use his timeouts while the clock's running and give them more time, but once the clock was stopped with the incomplete pass, he could have used his timeout to give Highsmith and Watt, some more time, and they could have came back in the game. Sometimes his coaching decisions in game are mind-boggling to me. They really are.
Yeah, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Fair criticism for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna agree or disagree. It's just strongly. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I've seen plenty of things on my own where I've been like, yeah, Tomlin, what are you doing? So I get it. I understand the opinion. Now, this particular case, again, I didn't notice anything too crazy toward the end of the game. Like, I didn't have those observations. But if you guys out there did, I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to discuss what we all noticed. And so I totally get it, and I believe you. And I believe everybody that says that. He's definitely been criticized a lot for how he manages the clock during games and how he manages time during the games. So, I mean, again, I don't have too strong of an opinion on it. But, I mean, it definitely could be a fair criticism for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. 412-928-9370. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello?
Hello, you're on the air. What's your name?
Hello? My name's Joe.
All right, Joe, what's on your mind?
I got a question for you, sir.
Okay.
Going by what we've seen of both of our quarterbacks and knowing both of their contracts are up at the end of this year, would you pay $30 to $40 million on a multi-year contract for either one of them?
Thank you for the call. It's actually a good question. For the sake of time, I can't go too much into detail. I would not pay Justin Fields. I don't think he's done quite enough to earn that much money, and we've seen some other teams now be locked down to quarterbacks that have underachieved on mega deals. So no, not to Justin Fields. Russell Wilson needs a few more games under his belt and maybe a game against a more superior opponent to the Giants for me to consider giving him a contract, but age is also a factor here, and I think there may be better options. So short answer is no to both. And with that, one more caller, 412-928-9370. Got about a minute. What's your name?
Hey, man, this is Mike from Fort Wayne. Good morning.
Good morning. What's up?
As far as the offense goes, I think just as Steeler fans, we have a lot to feel pretty good about. I mean, 9 points is not enough in the first half, but, man, the offense was absolutely moving the ball. As Tomlin would say, they were fluid. The second point is the other thing, I was just sitting there in the second half, and I'm like, man, it feels so good to have a 14-point lead. I mean, how many years? I mean, it just felt so good. Wow, we're up by 14. What's going on?
Yeah.
So anyway, though, just wanted to share those thoughts with you, man.
No, you're allowed to be positive. Thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. You guys are allowed to be positive, too. It's fine. I just want to make some critiques because I noticed some things. But, again, I mean, overall, sure, the offense is exciting. Definitely not going to deny that. And the offense is definitely better than we've seen in the last few seasons, without Ben Roethlisberger. So, yeah, no arguments there. If you're excited about the offense, I'm not gonna rain on that parade, because I think objectively we can all agree that the offense is much better than it has been in recent years for sure. Fan weather brought to you by Sun Chevrolet, 24 Silverado 1500, 1.9% financing up to 36 months with approved credit through GM Financial. Full terms and conditions at sunchevy.com. Today it's going to be a little warmer, high of 75, low of 46. Partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Tomorrow, overcast with a high of 75 and a low of 54. That's it for the Fan Early Morning Show. Fan Morning Show pre-show with Crowley and Doran. That's next right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan's Fan About Town. Get your home winter ready with Window Nation. Save up to 40% on your energy bills. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 0 down and no interest or payments for 2 years. Schedule an in-home estimate now at 866-90Nation or windownation.com. Get 50% off a floodlight camera with a Guardian smart home security system. Go to guardianprotection.com/fan. Terms apply, new customers only. That's www.guardianprotection.com/fan. If you're over 60 and looking for a weight loss program built specifically for you, Awaken 180 is your solution with Awaken 180 Golden, a new 1 to 3 month program for fast weight loss tailored to those over 60. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. For more information, visit 937thefan.com.
Hey, Colin Dunlap with you. Listen here. We're getting into those cold months. You better get into that four-wheel drive. You want an F-150, you want a Bronco, you want to explore anything where you can get around town because it's going to get cold and it's going to get, well, the roads are going to get messy. Schultz Ford, bunch of locations. Schultz Ford Wexford, Schultz Ford Armour, Schultz Ford South in West Mifflin, Schultz Ford in Wheeling. Always online, 24/7, 365, schultzford.com. You could check it out. Heck, you could shop in the middle of the night at schultzford.com. Gigantic selection of inventory, every single thing that you need, all those locations. And let me tell you about the customer service. Richard Bazzi and his staff, no one will treat you better. So the leaves are falling right now, right? It's autumn. It's going to be snow falling sometime soon. Make sure you get into a four-wheel drive right now. All those great locations and always online at schultzford.com.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. Even if she accidentally knocks out a side accent diamond, Diamonds Direct will replace it free. Now, other stores claim to offer warranties, but the catch is that they won't honor it unless you bring your ring in for regular inspections. But at Diamonds Direct, inspections are never required. There's no gotcha clause. No fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Plain and simple, at Diamonds Direct, we stand behind what we sell, and we're committed to service it at no charge for life, period. It's all part of our commitment to provide you with the ultimate in value and total confidence before, during, and long after your purchase. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more. Proud to call the Steel City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
Still not looking at any issues on the roads. I mean, we're getting more activity to start your Tuesday morning, but you should be good right now on 28 coming in. Also, the Parkway North, no issues. Little construction zone areas you find on 79 near the S-Bends. From the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDK, I'm Rob Taylor, Sports Radio 93.7 A Fan.
It's Nicholas Harry Callis here from the Fan Morning Show, and I did what you all thought I wouldn't do. I started Awaken 180. It was time, and yeah, it's easy. 21 pounds down in my first week, a ways to go, but I'll get there. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Your hometown building partner since 1956, 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
Show pre-show brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Reserve your consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com. Crowley, Dickerson, Callis behind the glass. It's a Steelers Victory Tuesday. Also, I believe a Tomlin Tuesday, but they're off, so I don't know that for certain. It doesn't matter. We should all be happy, if not a little bit tired today. Dornson, how we doing?
I'm doing great. Fantastic. How about that win last night? How about that, Callis? You hated the game. You tweeted that. This game stinks.
In the first half, it was terrible. 9-9 at halftime.
Yeah.
The score was 6-9 at one point.
Nice.
Which was very entertaining to me. Yeah.
And as always, because I'm a scarred little child, I was doing 13-9 math. That happens every time there's nines involved and it's a field goal fest. I'm always like, don't do that. Don't.
Makes sense.
I don't need that.
Makes sense. PTSD, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
And I wish I had the kind of PTSD where I would just black out and not remember it, but that's not the case.
No.
You know what I'm excited for? We get to watch that next month. We're a month away.
Why?
Because you lost the bet this year and Pitt won against WVU, so now you have to watch 13-9, remember?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't remember that we said we were doing it in a certain month, did we?
You said on December 1st we're going to do it on the anniversary.
Well, that's
yeah.
more than a month, so.
December 1st, right?
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
Just saying.
Ticky-tacky, okay. All right.
We aim for accuracy on this here Bangren show.
A month and 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Or, there you go. Yeah.
30 days have September, Virginia, and November.
We're not doing that again.
Yep, 30 days.
We're not doing that again.
You know how many days are in November?
30 days have 30.
So you do know the jingle now.
Well,
You
I
just said it.
I just repeated what he said.
Do you remember the knuckle method I taught you guys?
Nope.
That's what she asked. And no. But we're not doing that again. We're not spending any more time on that nonsense. Not at all.
I think it's important.
Do you know how many months there are in a year?
Yeah, 13.
13-9.
Mm-hmm.
13 months in a year?
No, there's 12.
Oh.
I don't know if you were being serious. I thought,
So did
I thought
I.
he was just kidding.
You know who I like, seriously, real quick, is Russell Wilson. I just like this guy. I thought he might annoy me. I don't like people, nobody does, who you think are fake.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think he at times puts on for the cameras, but he goes to Children's Hospital every week.
Yep.
He's running off the field and he's just dapping dudes up on the sideline, and then he's high-fiving fans, and he's got this charisma about him. And he's sitting on the bench, and he's talking to Justin Fields, and he's razzing him, and he's lifting his beanie off his head. And I just like the cut of this guy's jib, man. And my wife goes, "Is he thick?" I was like, "Yeah, he's a little thick. He's not a tall guy." She goes, "Is he fat?" I said, "Oh, no.
No. He's
No.
He's stocky.
Stocky's a great word I should have used.
He's definitely stocky. You know what? You know how you can tell if a person's faking it or not? Are they doing it whenever things aren't going good? And that's what Russell Wilson was doing. Like, things were not going. He wasn't starting. He was hurt. He didn't have to go to Children's Hospital. He didn't have to, do all these things whenever, things weren't going well. And that's how you know if somebody's fake or not, honestly. If they do it whenever nobody's looking, if they do it whenever things are going bad, if they continue to do what they're doing, that's how I know that that's how he is.
That's really well said, and it's a good point by you. And Mark Schlereth called it toxic positivity. Man, there have been a lot of negativity around this football team for a couple years.
Yeah.
I don't believe in toxic positivity at all. There's enough negativity in the world. There's enough negativity around even winning football teams we've seen around here.
Yep.
And this guy's got a good head on his shoulders, a smiling face. He's charismatic. He's positive. Only a jagoff makes that a negative.
Yes.
Texter, everyone be careful driving, especially on little sleep, because driving tired could be dangerous. I had that over the weekend, the sandwich at Permanis.
How was it?
Sweet sassy molasses.
Was it good?
Oh, my God.
Really?
My dad and I went to Permanis Friday night, watched a little World Series, and I hammered it. A lot of meat, the ham.
Did you get all the fixings, everything?
Oh, yeah.
Just how it comes?
Oh, yeah, bacon on there. It's basically an Italian, but then
coleslaw
Permanis style, yeah, and then some bacon on there for good measure.
Pretty good.
I would strongly recommend. And I hope, you know what I'm going to do? First of all, Steelers are 3-0 since I got the Zach Frazier jersey. Didn't help him, but 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to get it dangerous every Friday. Game week moving forward.
Sandwich. Nice. Didn't they bring it in for Starkey and Becty?
Yeah, they did.
Ooh, I'm going to have to work something out here.
Well, I did say before the show, and I don't know if we're legally allowed to do this, so we'll just talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
It would be great if we had breakfast today.
That would be great.
It'd be real great.
That'd be real nice. Nice breakfast sandwich or maybe a breakfast pizza.
Oh, breakfast pizza would be outstanding.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh,
I'm hungry.
Our guy Southside Jake brought us a breakfast pizza a couple weeks ago.
Probably one of the best breakfast things I've ever had.
It was outstanding, and then you consider it was a surprise. A breakfast pizza surprise? I can't think of a better surprise.
It was unbelievable.
Real quick, I don't know why I thought of this, but I did. So we had the family birthday party for my daughter on Sunday, and we got a bunch of Giant Eagle chicken, and got all the sauces. And before I went to bed Sunday night, playing a big old kiss on my wife, saying goodnight, a little birthday kiss. She goes, "Don't be mad." I said, "What?" She goes, "Your breath reeks of honey mustard."
Ew.
And I said, if I had all this honey mustard at my disposal and my breath didn't smell like honey mustard, divorce me. Leave me. I would be a fool for my breath not to smell like honey mustard right now.
Don't be mad. You stink.
You need to be happy that your husband has enough sense that when there's honey mustard laying around, he's going to use it. I ain't wasting no honey mustard.
I just became a honey mustard fan.
It has never been my number one, and then I'm slathering it with it this week. It was outstanding.
Yeah, like I've started to use it a lot in like the last like year, and I'm like, what have I been missing out all these years? Like this is very, very good.
I love when you get older and you get into something you never really been into, and it's like, man, where's this been? Doesn't matter because it's in my life now.
Yeah, we're good. Hey,
Texter, sorry, I hate Permanis, but I do want to try that sandwich. First of all, go to Yins or Hell. You're not allowed to hate Permanis, and you should try the sandwich.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Came out hot, burnt my tongue.
So it was like a hot Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just
Not cold?
Normal Permani style. So, I mean.
But the fries were hot.
Fries were hot. Meat was hot.
Meat was hot.
Bacon might as well have still been sizzling.
Sizzling bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Crunchy or like
oh, yeah.
soft?
Oh, yeah. Perfect amount.
Do you like crunchy bacon or do you like soft bacon? Like whenever you're having bacon and eggs?
I like crunchy bacon. I like the way they do the bacon in Europe, which is different.
What are they? Canadian?
It's kind of like Canadian, yeah.
No, it's like ham?
Yeah, kind of. It's good, really salty, but it's fresh because they're probably just killed the pig right in the backyard there in Ireland.
Yep.
I like all kinds of bacon. You know what? Don't put me in that position again. I like crispy. I like flats, and I like it all.
Well, if you had to pick, there's different types of bacon that people like. Do you like the hard, crunchy bacon, or do you like the soft bacon? I go back and forth. Like I like both, like you do, but sometimes I prefer soft. Sometimes I prefer hard.
I think on a sandwich you need the crispy. You know, Wendy's used to, back in the day, the bacon wasn't crispy, and it was fine.
Right.
Junior bacon cheeseburger. You ever get a junior bacon cheeseburger? Like 6 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's crispy.
Right.
Flaccid meat. Is that a term?
It is
I'm
now.
serious, because usually the opposite of crispy to me is chewy.
Yeah, chewy would work. I think people understand the description if I say it's flaccid.
I think he just wanted to use the word.
I did, yeah. And now you're heavy-handed in pointing it out. I was going to slide.
Yeah.
What did you do last night? What did you eat? You always eat something.
I ate the leftover Sunday gravy, Sunday sauce. I told you that we made on Sunday with the sausage, pork, meatballs.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's so good. Bucatini pasta. It's like the thicker spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had leftovers. It was fire.
Bucatini.
You know what I'm not big on, and every once in a while I am, but I think it is the number one thing in this category, and I am obsessed with it. My kids got me on it. Cotton candy ice cream. It is the best ice cream. And I'm not a big ice cream guy, but like I've almost eaten the whole entire tub.
Really?
Yes. It is the best ice cream. It's so good.
Cotton candy.
Yes.
And you ate it last night?
After the pasta, yes.
Oh, that's a nice night.
Yeah.
You ate like the whole tub?
Yep. Yep.
It'll be like 800 calories.
Yep.
A bite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting big.
No, you're not.
I know. I'm the same weight as I've been for 10 years.
Congratulations to you.
Thanks.
I had chips and dip. This is the way that goes. A little hell of a good French onion. Next level stuff.
That's your go-to?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then I had some of the leftover fried chicken, and then also leftover Italian sausage that I made over the weekend.
And you had some caffeine, you said too, to stay up for the game.
Yeah, we had a lot of pops left over, and I am not a big pop guy at all. Like I very, very rarely drink pop. Usually on like a road trip or something. But I needed the caffeine. I didn't want to drink coffee that late because I thought it would make me have to go number 2. So I wound up having like 5 Diet Cokes. Yeah.
5 Diet Cokes.
Yeah. Texter. Oh, this is great. 8.5 gallon of cotton candy ice cream last night.
They did too?
It's the bleeping best, yeah.
Have you ever had it?
No.
Oh my God. It is unbelievable.
I don't love cotton candy, and I'm not crazy about ice cream.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm the same exact way. I will not get cotton candy.
But you like the combo.
It is so good. I'm telling you.
You know what I wanted to ask you? I thought about it while I was falling asleep last night because it's tough. You're all amped up from the game, trying to fall asleep. You've had 5 Diet Cokes, try not to pee. You flip the pillow over. Bang. It's nice and cool.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that happen?
Because your head's hot. Your head is hot, probably, right? And it warms that side of the pillow, and the other side of the pillow is just, it's not getting hot from the permeating heat of your head.
Damn, I thought this was some like profound question in the text. The Google machine says the other side of the pillow is usually cooler than the side you sleep on because your head radiates more heat than the rest of your body.
Yes. That's where all the heat goes.
That's among the best non-sex feelings in the world, is when you flip the pillow over and it's nice and cool. It changes everything. I was like rustling around. I flipped the pillow. I was like, oh.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Feels real good. I need one of those special neck pillows. My neck is all jacked up from sleeping and from football.
A neck pillow?
Yes, and they keep... I was just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, my neck is all jacked up from sleeping. I need a better pillow. And then all of a sudden, the algorithm in the universe pops up on my Facebook, on my Instagram, this special neck pillow where you can put your arms underneath it and your neck is in the perfect position so you don't sleep bad.
So you're cradling this pillow.
Basically, and it looked great. I'm like, should I buy this?
Did Rochelle ever do the pregnancy pillow thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing
Like the
became...
little, like
yeah, then
thing.
you wrap your legs around it,
Yep.
and it's kind of... Yeah. It became my wife's husband for 9 months.
Yeah.
Twice. So 18 months.
Yeah.
Loved that thing. Took up too much of our bed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What were you talking about? Neck roll.
Neck pillow.
HB Blades.
Neck roll.
Neck pillow.
Who wore the best neck roll?
Lorenzo Neal.
Good call.
Thank you.
Romanowski.
Oh, better call.
Neck roll. I wore a neck roll for a week in practice at Pitt when I was playing linebacker.
I remember.
No, you don't.
No, because it's popped up in like Google searches, like Doran Dickerson, and then bang, neck roll.
No,
It did. Would you consider the thing that James Ferrier wore to be a neck roll? Like it kind of
washboard.
Washboard. Just
That
like
is a
my
washboard.
abs.
Yeah, that's a washboard. Yes.
Washboard.
That's HB Blades.
NFL players neck roll images. Let's go.
There's somebody who was wearing a neck roll the other day.
There was.
Yeah.
Because I went down my memory lane on this just the other day. Yeah, you're right.
Who was wearing a neck roll? I tell you what, it does make a difference, though.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yep. Your neck is, your head is just, it feels like it's like locked in.
Doesn't go anywhere.
No. More sturdy. Can hit people, take people out.
Neck roll. You don't see it as much anymore.
Nope.
Used to be a big deal.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. You know, younger players now, they want to look good. It's all about the drip.
Yes.
That's what Ben Tenuta said to me the other day. I posted that picture of like beat Syracuse back whenever I was playing Syracuse.
Yeah, I saw that.
Catching a touchdown against Syracuse, and Ben Tenuta pulled it up on his phone at the pick game. He's like, you were drippy before the drip. You were drippy. Look how drippy you are. I was like, I was sweating. I wasn't like, it wasn't dripping that bad. I was sweating though. I'm all old.
You never broke a sweat playing Syracuse.
No.
Never.
No.
I think they beat Pitt since 2003, I think it was.
Yep.
Been a long time. The Syracuse Orange. I like the color rush uniforms the Steelers wear. I like the Giants unis. I've always been a big fan of the Giants unis, both home and road.
They need to go back to like the little Giants.
Those are good too. They've always been good. Unlike the Jets, who their new unis are bad and their old unis were good. The Giants, anything that they've worn has generally been okay by me.
You like the Jets white helmet? Is that
Love the white helmet.
The white helmet, yeah.
Love the white helmet. Yeah.
Tennessee Titans white helmet.
Love the white helmet. Yeah.
Right.
Big fan of the white helmet. But I like the Steelers color rush and the block numbers. Steelers do a lot right by the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And they won the game last night, Doran. And we're going to talk about that for the next 4 hours. And we're kind of melding a Tuesday and a Monday all together. So Jeff Hathler going to join us at 7. Jason Mackey now is going to be joining us every Tuesday at 8. So he'll be on. Jason La Canfora. Are the Steelers better than the Ravens? There's so much to get into. And we'd love to do it with you at 412-928-9370. Blow up the phone lines all morning long. Let's have a Victory Tuesday party starting in about 30 seconds. Jack Lambert, neck roll. Bang!
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey Sports Station, live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios. Always live and free on the Odyssey app. By Top Dog Law.
Top Dog, get get you top dollar. Go to TopDogLaw.com. That's TopDogLaw.com.
I just like the overall look of the group at halftime. We acknowledged where we were. We acknowledged we needed some plays, man, to break this thing open. And I had a bunch of guys that wanted to be the reason why we were successful.
Pressure, passes high, and intercepted by Beanie Bishop.
Good morning, everybody. It is a Victory Tuesday. The Steelers are 6-2. It wasn't a thing of beauty. It also wasn't as ugly as some wins over not great teams, as we've kind of become accustomed to seeing here. Steelers 0 for 4 in the red zone. Ugh. Even still, Steelers offense racked up 426 yards, scored on 5 of the 9 drives. Rush defense, bad. 6.3 yards per rush given up. 157 overall. Tyrone Tracy had the game of his life. That can't happen. Gave up a 3rd and 16 on the drive that was capped off by the 45-yard Tracy run. That can't happen. But while the Steelers in the red zone at times were ugly, it still looked worlds better than it has the last couple of years offensively. And even though the defense at times bled yards, especially, my God, in the running game, they still got 4 sacks combined from T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith, including a forced fumble by Watt. And they had the interception from Beanie Bishop. Not to mention the Calvin Austin punt return for a touchdown. So while it wasn't necessarily Doran awe-inspiring, every single unit made a big play or two to help win this game. And I say it all the time, we're not going to apologize for victories on this here radio program. An ugly win is better than a loss under any circumstances.
I think we got to look into the details a little bit of the ugly win. I think that's kind of where it's at. And we, were preaching yesterday about the consistency that this team needs to have, and at least the foundation from last week and continuing that last night. And I think that they did at the end of the day. If you look into the details, you can make excuses about the Broderick Jones penalty. You can make excuses about George Pickens not getting his foot down, and those 2 touchdowns could be, it could have looked aesthetically different for the numbers in the win and loss column. But if you really look into the details, especially on offense, and defense too, it looked almost the same as it did last week. You did what you needed to do to a bad team. I know that the score was close, but at the end of the day, to me, it wasn't really fairly close. Like the Steelers looked like a better football team, in my opinion. And if you just go through the box score, and I'm not a big stat guy, but it's almost identical as last week. I mean, you got Najee over 100 yards. You have Jaylen Warren, 46 yards rushing. You have Russell Wilson, 278 and a touchdown passing. You have George Pickens, 74 yards. Van Jefferson, a back-to-back game, 62 yards receiving. Calvin Austin, obviously the punt return, 54 yards receiving. Darnell Washington, 29 yards receiving. Pat Freiermuth, 19. Najee Harris, 17. Jaylen Warren, 13. Michael Pruitt, 10. Like, Russell Wilson is elevating everybody. And that's what you wanted to really see. You kind of had a good feeling that they were going to win this football game, even going into it. I don't think anybody was really stressing about it. It didn't look great. The score it looks a lot closer than it really was. But these things right here tell the true story, I believe, in my opinion, about where the Steelers are at and what they can do with Russell Wilson.
It's why you say things like the stats don't always matter. Sometimes they paint a perfect picture. The stats you just read off there, they do. They scored 19 points offensively. That's not going to excite anybody, but if you watch the game, you see it's just worlds different than it's been. Mm-hmm. Worlds different. I thought Arthur Smith, and we'll get into the details as we break this thing down segment by segment, I thought Arthur Smith called a great game. I tweeted that, and it was halftime, and people blew me up. Well, only 9 points. Okay, well, Arthur Smith didn't call the, hey, Broderick, grab his face mask play. Mm-hmm. He didn't call the, hey, George Pickens, don't get your second foot down play. He called touchdown plays. I spit everywhere just there like Bill Cowher. I'm fired up. And you know what? His players made mistakes. Like, if the Steelers had lost this game, Mike Tomlin was going to get criticized, probably because the defense was bleeding. But I thought a lot of the issues weren't coaching related. I thought the problems were player-related. Broderick Jones, George Pickens. And that's maybe not even his fault, just kind of a fluky deal there. Sometimes players don't make plays. I thought to come out and sort of tempo them was really smart.
Yes.
People were blowing me up. Arthur's not calling a good game. He's still running the ball way too much on first down. Najee Harris through the first half was averaging 8 yards a carry.
Right.
They were averaging 7 yards a carry and had over 100 rushing yards at the half. If he's calling first down runs, good. So I thought he did a good job. I thought in the second half, when it became butt clench time, that's when they started uncorking the play action deep balls, and Russ was mostly on point. And so while the stats would say, oh, they scored 19 points offensively, you'll want more. Well, it looked better than the 19 points, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it absolutely did. I just feel like this is a complete football team. And I understand it's the Giants, and I understand last week is the Jets, but you have to go in there and make sure that you're getting better week to week. And now you head into the bye week in 6-2. Like, would you rather be, and we talked about this a little bit before the show, would you rather be the Ravens right now and being like, man.
Exactly.
Man, how did we lose that game? How did we lose that game? But the Steelers found a way to win this football game against a bad football team, but also detail-wise doing it the same way you did it last week. And I think that is very significant. I think that's very significant moving forward.
Couple things. You're right. You win, it counts as a dub. It doesn't matter what it looks like at the end of the year. The Ravens have two of the worst losses in the NFL this season. They had a 10-point lead at home against Las Vegas, and they blow it. And then they lose to the hapless Browns and drop what could have been a touchdown because it got lost in the sun, and then an interception that would have closed the game. So they got two bad losses. Cincinnati's doing math right now. Joe Burrow after the game, well, you win 7 out of 9. That's going to get you 10. That's probably going to get you in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, that's doable. And his voice kind of cracked. Well, if you don't lose at home to New England, or, hey, you win a home game this year, they're 0-4, guess what? You're still alive in this thing, and you're not doing math after the game. They haven't. Kansas City is unblemished. Every other team in the NFL's got a loss or two that you'd go, why? That shouldn't have happened. The Steelers last year got blowed out by Houston. The Steelers last year got blowed out by Indianapolis. The Steelers' 2 losses this year, 1-score games, and only one of their victories, they won by 7 points or fewer. That's growth. When they were losing last year, at times, they were getting their doors blown off. We haven't seen that happen once this year. And every time, seemingly, they won last season. Except for, I guess, the Cincinnati game with Mason Rudolph. It was skinnier teeth. It was hold on to your butts. And it really hasn't been like that. The Giants weren't going to win that game.
No.
I was not nervous at all.
Not
the
one
Steelers' defense had not played great all night. But the Giants needed to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion at the end of the game. And you've got T.J. Watt, and you've got Alex Highsmith, and you've got Minka, and you've got Elliott, you've got Queen, and you've got Beanie Bishop. I just didn't feel like it was ever in danger. This is a team that, okay, it's not the most satisfying 6-2 in the world. This is a good, complete football team. And you don't always have to apologize for that. The people tweeting last night, and I saw a few. I don't want to straw man this. I saw a few. It's not a great 6-2 team. Shut it. Shut your mouth. Not a good 6-2 football team. Get out of here. They're incredibly impressive overall as a team. They're not perfect in any one area, but special teams is great. The defense is going to have its playmakers make plays, and offensively, it's still a work in progress. It's game 2 for your starting quarterback. They're playing pretty well on that side of the ball.
Are they good enough, or can they be good enough? Like, from what you see right now, can you see them being good enough? Or are they good enough in your mind right now?
The offensive line is something that concerns me, but you're going to get Zach Frazier back. And now, because you've had so many injuries, organically you've kind of developed this depth now. You're not going to make a trade for somebody at the deadline to help your offensive line. They're just not going to do that. So that gives me pause, yeah, for sure. Because if you do play Kansas City in the playoffs, well, they can get after the passer, and that's a good defense. You play Buffalo, well, Gregory Rousseau, he's pretty good, and especially against one Broderick Jones. So that scares me. But while they're not the best team in the NFL, I think you can make a compelling and reasonable case that they're the most complete team in the NFL.
Balance for sure.
Yes, balance is probably the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. No, I think that they're very balanced, and I think that they're just getting started. I mean, my thing, and I can't harp on this enough, is like, can you do what you did last week? And I know they didn't score 37 points, but on offense and on defense, they did the things that they did last week against a bad football team. 2 weeks in a row. That's to me is taking care of your business and getting better. Russell Wilson has elevated this offense to everybody having high productive days. And whenever you have everybody chipping in like that, that means that you can beat teams different ways on offense. On defense, you still have your Alex Highsmith, 2 sacks. TJ Watt, a strip sack and a sack. 2 sacks, right? You had an interception. So they've played very, very complete football. And then you talked about the special teams. They played very complete football for the last 2 weeks that going into the bye week, if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not going to obviously say that, but I'm feeling pretty good where my team's at, and I think that we can only get better.
It's almost the perfect way to win going into the bye. If the Pickens touchdowns stand, you win this thing going away, and the momentum's great, and you're feeling awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But now the rush defense, unacceptable. Have not been run on all year. 150 yards to that guy having a career game can't happen, but I have a hard time evaluating the defense because they gave up fewer than 20, and they had 4 sacks, and they had 2 takeaways, like you said, and that's kind of the name of the game in the NFL in 2024. Right. If the Giants are going to be on the field that much offensively, you're going to trust that your guys are going to get it done. So you've got stuff to work on. I like that going into the bye. You weren't perfect on either side of the ball. You can probably say you're perfect on special teams almost every week. Now, Danny Smith's doing a great job, but you got stuff to work on. I like that. I think the defense is going to be pissed off for 2 weeks that they gave up 150 yards on the ground.
Absolutely.
And we'll get into this full form a little bit later on in the show. Guys, you got to credit Mike Tomlin. When Mike Tomlin loses this game, he gets raked over the coals. They're 6-2. Vegas didn't see it coming. They were a last-place team, according to a lot of those people out there in the West that build all those beautiful mansions out there and those beautiful hotels and the casinos. They know what they're talking about. They had the Steelers in last place this year.
Yep.
Way more likely they finished in last than in first. They're in first place by their lonesome right now. You can lament the slow starts. Fair enough. They have the best second half point differential in the NFL. That's coaching adjustments. That's their physicality. I think that plays a role in it, but that's adjustments. Again, the defense wasn't perfect or great last night, apart from a few moments, but you saw some coaching adjustment. Mike Tomlin flip-flopping TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith at times. I'm not sure it worked all the time, but I think it paid dividends at the end of the game. They blitzed, I have to think, I don't have the percentages, more in this game than they had in any other game this year.
Yep, bringing more pressure for sure.
Which, again, the dam broke in the second half. So Mike Tomlin on the whole's got his team in first place and in the third spot in the AFC standings as we sit right now. And it is the mark of a good coaching staff. There's no other way to slice it that you dominate the way they've dominated in the second half of these games this year. Like, you can't tell me that's an accident. It's too big of a sample size now. It happens every week. That's coaching. So we're going to throw the phone number out. That's what we do on a day after a game at 412-928-9370. It's the fan hotline presented by Sullivan Super Service, Pittsburgh trusted plumbing and HVAC provider for over 50 years. Are we satisfied, if not enthralled? How do you feel about your 6-2 Steelers? How do you feel about last night's win? 412-928-9370. If you've got a frog in your throat because you barely slept, you could tweet us. Brought to you by South Hills Kia Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. You could text us. Brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. We would be thrilled to talk to you. Coming up in the next segment, we got to talk about the Steelers receivers who stepped up, and you got to credit Russell Wilson for getting the most out of those guys. So what did the quarterback have to say about his receivers? We'll let you hear it. We'll react. And we'll talk to you. But first, it's a Nicholas Harry Callis fan headline.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
On Sunday, the Bengals and the Ravens both lost. The Browns beat the Ravens to improve to a 2-win season now. And that makes the Steelers in first place with a 6-2 record if the Steelers beat the Giants on Monday Night Football. More Fan of the Lions, go to 937thefan.com.
It's the morning after on 93.7 The Fan. The guys break down this week's victory. Brought to you by Twin Peaks in Robinson Township, Saloni's Italian Bakery, Smale Kia, and Tri-State Office Furniture.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Kamala Harris gets that everyday costs are too high. She has real plans to tackle price gouging, cut taxes for middle-class families, and make life more affordable. Her opponent's plan?
Donald Trump plans to impose what is, in effect, a national sales tax. On everyday products, it will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. A Trump tax on gas, a Trump tax on food, a Trump tax on clothing, a Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year. When everyday prices are too high, he will make them even higher.
Kamala Harris, a better plan for lowering costs for a future we can afford. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC's responsible for the content of this advertising.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with last chance Halloween deals. Looks like Mom's got the old pumpkin bucket stocked with the best candy, starting at $5.99.
Lucky pumpkin bucket. Oh, there's Dad party planning with a same-day delivery order.
Yes, it's a BOGO 50% off pizza party with Target Circle. Plus, buy 3, save 40% on soda 12 packs with Target Circle.
Nice saves, Dad.
Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Need it last minute? Get same-day delivery with Target Circle 360. Restrictions apply. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Mostly sunny today, the high 66.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Hey, what are you doing up on the step stool?
About to clean these light fixtures. The whole family's coming over, and if there's even a speck of dust in the house, my abuela will find it.
Here, I got a Swiffer duster to help with that.
A Swiffer what?
A Swiffer duster. It has this cool extendable handle that reaches 6 feet to get high and low, with fluffy dusters that easily trap and lock dust.
So no more step stool?
No more step stool.
Easily trap and lock dust from hard-to-reach places with the Swiffer duster. Love it or your money back.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Last night was not good for New York, the Giants, and minutes later, the Yankees came up with too much, too little, too late, and their seasons are about to disappointingly end. The first place 6-2 Steelers behind Russell Wilson closed out Big Blue 26-18, while the Dodgers' 4-2 win gives them a commanding 3-0 World Series lead. And oh yeah, the Knicks lost as well. Boomer Esiason.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8th, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at Robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodities interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at Robinhood.com/election.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
On the traffic front, the Parkway West on the inbound side, starting to see more activity right around Green Tree Hill coming on in. Same with the Parkway East, right around the Square Hill Tunnel area. Not too much of a backup this time, however. From the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDK, I'm Rob Taylor on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
This traffic report brought to you by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Visit them at twomenandajuncktruck.com.
At twomenandajuncktruck.com, you can even book same day or next day. Then we arrive, we quote, you like the price? Yes! We haul it away. Yeah, it's that easy. We'll even whistle while we work. 2 Men and a Junk Truck.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills.
Extra men on the rush, floated, downfield, and caught! Touchdown, Austin! Second touchdown of the night.
They do it in practice every day. Their work ethic, they've been doing it since the summertime, since off season and in the springtime. All the work that we were able to do in the off season together in San Diego and all that. I mean, I know who they are. The competitors, the playmakers. Van's catch down the sideline was amazing. Giving him a chance down there. Calvin obviously made some great plays tonight to touchdown. And GP really, he really had a great night. He had 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately got called back, but he was special tonight too. So I think it's the work ethic. The work ethic of those guys. They're putting all the work in every day. It's not a surprise when it shows up on the field, and I think that's the key part.
We don't need no stinking wide receiver 2. All right, I'll take Darius Slayton. And I just want to leave him. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Pretty good. I loved that play call. 3rd and 8. Broke the game open. At least it felt like at that moment to Calvin Austin, the 29-yarder, where Russ just drops it in a bucket. That's a throw you need to make, but it's not a throw that I think has been made routinely these last few years. And I also love that in the second half, when things did start to get tight, they said, let's rip it. Let Russ cook. I said, let the Russ chuck, whatever you want to say, whatever cutesy little lame thing you want to throw out there, fine. Let him cook.
Yeah.
And I thought they were thoughtful about it. Like, run the ball early, tempo early, second half, now you've set up play action, and they just chunked them to death. 4 plays at 20-plus yards in the receiving game after 5 last week.
Well, I think that the thing that's very important to understand with the Calvin Austin play, like, receivers are getting open too. That wasn't happening in the beginning of the season, and I think that made us question this wide receiver core a lot, and really, harp on the fact that they need a number 1 or number 2 wide receiver. Guys weren't getting open. Go back and watch that Calvin Austin play. Like, it was a perfect throw. It's a routine throw at the end of the day, an NFL throw. Back pylon, corner route, but watch Calvin Austin off the line, shimmy, and he works his way open. That wasn't happening before. George Pickens, if you watch him throughout the game, he's working his way open. Van Jefferson getting open. these guys, and Darnell Washington getting open, using his body, like these guys have elevated their game to help Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson's just doing Russell Wilson things and putting the ball where it needs to be most of the time. That's what you want, clearly, from your wide receiver group, and to score points and to put up over 400 yards again. That has a lot to do with it, with the individuals of getting open more than just really anything if you watch the game.
Yeah, and give Arthur Smith his flowers for that, too. Offensive coordinators, they set things up. I think he does a really good job of setting things up. I thought he called a really good game yesterday. And, okay, red zone, not good enough. One fluky deal with George Pickens, and then the other, the face mask for Broderick Jones. We'll get into Broderick later on. But apart from that, I would say they're exactly who they want to be and have been striving to be offensively.
Yep.
They've run the ball for over 100 yards in 3 straight games. They were 9th in the NFL in rushing coming into this game. Najee Harris looks outstanding these last 3 weeks. That's what they want to be. They want to be a team that runs the ball and hits these deep shots off of play action. This is what they want. This is what they've been striving for, and it's not perfect. You got to convert in the red zone, but this is who they've wanted to be. This is their identity, and you've finally seen it all come to be. They're not winning 16-13 anymore, man. It's at least it's fun, too, which is such a difference a couple of years make. Not to mention Van Jefferson. Was he supposed to sit down on that pass?
Yes,
okay.
It's the zone hole right there. Don't run into coverage. You see two guys, or you see a guy that's inside of you, and then you see another guy that's kind of on the opposite side that has a white jersey. You don't run into them. You just kind of feel it and sit down and back shoulder bang. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was on Van Jefferson.
Because I didn't think Aikman had a particularly great day as the color commentator yesterday.
Yeah, that was on.
I think he's really good.
Me too.
I love that crew. I thought he was off all night. He kept bitching about the Giants' touchdown getting taken off the board on the illegal procedure penalty that the rules guy said half a dozen times, that's a penalty. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. And then Aikman comes back.
See, I honestly didn't think that was a penalty either.
Yeah.
I didn't. Like, I mean, he was motioning. You're talking about whenever Neighbors was motioning and then he didn't stop?
Yeah.
Like, what's he need to stop for? I've never really... Well, I didn't get that either.
He didn't stop initially either. Like, so he ran out to the left and kept moving, and then he, like, half stops and then comes back the other way. I don't know. Yeah, I defer to the rules experts on stuff like that. I thought that they missed clearly that the Giants threw a 12th guy on the field on purpose at the end of the game.
Uh-huh.
That was brilliant from Dable.
Didn't we see that happen before?
We saw it in the Oregon-Ohio State game.
Yep.
Because the Steelers had a 7-yard run on first down, and, okay, you're probably going to pick up the first down on the next run, and it's going to chew more clock off. Give the Steelers a free first down so you've got 3 plays to work with defensively instead of 4. That was really smart, and they missed that. We'll take some calls here in a moment at 412-928-9370. They got to find a way to rewrite the rule on the foot thing for George Pickens. If you get the right foot down twice, right. I'm sorry, that's got to be a touchdown. And I'm not sorry. Why am I apologizing? It should be a touchdown. You're telling me he catches the ball at the 10-yard line and 1 foot hops into the end zone and then the second foot comes down out of bounds. That's not a catch. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
2 ass cheeks is a catch. 1 ass cheek is a catch. A hip is a catch. A knee's a catch. Dragging the foot's a catch. If you get 2 toes down, toe tapping, that's a catch. But if the 2 toes tap and then the heels come down on the white, that's not a catch. Can we figure it out?
Yep.
Everyone watching the game goes, okay, spirit of football, that's a damn touchdown.
Yes.
Tomlin shouldn't have challenged it.
Right.
After the game, he said he didn't know why they overturned it. Well, you should. That wasn't a great look. He's on the competition committee. Clean that up.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to clean the rule up. 2 right feet should be a tutty. 2 left feet should be a tutty. He clearly has control of the ball. Hell of a throw by Russ.
Really good.
It really annoyed me. Shall we take a call?
Sure.
Rob in Chicago. Hello.
Hey, guys. Good morning. The defensive line of the run game, they'll get that fixed. But most importantly, I think the emergence of Calvin Austin under Russ is really what's nice to see because he's been – the first year he was out with a broken foot, and then the next year he didn't quite get it going with Kenny. And then this year he's really hitting that untapped potential, and all of a sudden this could be the second receiver you've been looking for. He's right here. He's making some great plays with Russ.
Yeah, he had one catch last week, but it was a 36-yarder. And then this week, obviously, by his standards, certainly he exploded. And thank you so much for the call, Rob. Doran, what'd you say about Calvin Austin running?
He looks like a little kid getting chased by older kids, man. I've seen that so many times. The way he was running on that punt return, oh, man, that was so funny. He looked like he was getting chased by a couple dogs or something. Like he was a little kid, or he took something from his older brothers.
When he had one man left to beat, I thought the back of his head was going to touch his ass.
Yeah,
he's like bent over. And that was only like the second funniest thing in the game, because the funniest thing in the game is when George Pickens came jumping off the top rope with the flying elbow.
And I've never laughed that hard during an NFL football game at a play. Never.
I didn't see it live. You said you did.
I saw it live. I was howling. I'm like, what is George doing? I knew what he was trying to do. He thought the pal was going to roll out of bounds, so he would just jump over the pal and not get rolled up on. But the pal just stopped underneath his feet, and he was like, oh man.
He doesn't do anything normally. He's a goofy kind of player to watch. He had a catch and run down the sideline where I'm screaming the whole time. I had shades of the Indianapolis game. Like, don't you fumble that football.
Yeah.
And then he winds up turning backwards, and he's running backwards. He does everything kind of awkwardly, but another good game for him that would have been better. I feel like Russell Wilson, who we'll get to more in long form later on in the show, Russ and Pickens both had much better games than their stat lines would indicate. Like Pickens had 4 for 74, but should have had 2 touchdowns. And Russ threw for 278 yards. He should have gone for over 300 with 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
So I thought both guys played well. Russ, you can't fumble at the end of the game, but that's your only turnover in 2 games. And you've been really good otherwise, so all is forgiven. More of your calls at 412-928-9370. 3 straight games of over 100 yards for Najee Harris. It looks like an adult offense. The defense left some room for improvement. We'll put it that way. But you got to give credit where credit's due. And we'll do just that when we come back. In addition to taking your calls right now, it's a Callis headline.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
Penguins play at home tonight against the Minnesota Wild in a game that starts at 7 o'clock. For more headlines, go to 937thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, the PM team, presented by Mike's Beer Bar.
He won the first Royal Rumble. He's in the WWE Hall of Fame. He's one of the great wrestlers of all time. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Can I get one more USA chant on the way out?
Well, we got to do a hole, brother. That's what we're going to do. And if you guys are going to hole like you mean it. So 1, 2, 3, ho!
Say hacksaw.
That's some good hoeing.
The PM team at 2 p.m. live and local, just like Mike's.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8th, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at Robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodities interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at Robinhood.com/election.
Visit the North Shore Tavern located on Federal Street across from PNC Park. North Shore Tavern, with its interior dedicated to the history of the Pittsburgh Pirates, has an array of delicious apps, entrees, cocktails, and of course, delicious steaks and seafood served on a sizzling lava stone. Open every day. North Shore Tavern is a stone's throw away from PNC Park and Pittsburgh's home for Steak on a Stone.
Injured? Call the expert personal injury attorneys at Shenderovich, Fishman. They handle all types of injury cases. Their fee is only 25%, not 40% like other firms. They're smart, aggressive, experienced, and have a 99.7% success rate. So that means they win. Car accidents, 25%. Motorcycle wrecks, 25%. Tractor-trailer crashes, 25%. Dog bites, 25%. Any accident, only 25%. Shenderovich, and Fishman, 888-98-TWINS. They've got your back, not your wallet.
15 packs of Pepsi products, 2 for $14. Save $1 on 2 gallons of milk, just for Par Mar Rewards card holders. Dan's angrily inviting you to download the Par Mar Rewards app today. And remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
This is an ad by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Hey everyone, it's Boomer Esiason. What's something that you've always wanted to learn? An instrument, a new language, how not to burn pasta. Whether it's big or small, imagine how great it would feel to finally do it. As kids, we're always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity that made life feel so exciting. So it's easy to think that we are who we are and we can't change. But BetterHelp is here to tell you that it's never too late to be who you want to be. Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back-to-school era can come at any age. BetterHelp makes it easy to get started with affordable phone, video, or live chat sessions you could do from anywhere. And the option to message your therapist between sessions if anything comes up. So why not rediscover possibility with BetterHelp? Visit BetterHelp.com/Boomer today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Boomer.
Let's face it. Nowadays, most companies have to rely on dozens of expensive, disconnected platforms to run their business. And even then, things can get a little, well, stressful. But with Odoo's all-in-one management software, packed with a suite of fully integrated business applications, every process is streamlined. Tasks are automated, and success is just a few clicks away. See how Odoo can take your business to the next level at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the Fan Morning Show.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Presented by Guardian Protection on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
3rd and 7. Pressure off the edge. Watt returns the favor.
I'm just getting a one-on-one and trying to make the most of it in a big-time moment. Trying to make a play for my team, able to get to the football and recover it. Oh, we just have a lot of guys that can make plays. And we have a lot of confidence. We do it a lot in practice. We watch league-wide turnovers. Coach Denzel Martin has done a good job of presenting each and every week our takeaways from the game, our takeaway opportunities from practice, the ones that we missed, the ones we had back, and then also watching around the league. So it's been a point of emphasis, and but there's so many more things that we can continue to get better at as a defense. We're not satisfied at all. Can you talk a little bit about your...
Yeah, they shouldn't be satisfied, but they made the plays when they needed to make them, and that sometimes is defense in 2024. An interception by Beanie Bishop, the forced fumble that you heard there, and TJ Watt talked about it. That Illuminer guy, he said, if you watch my tape this year, I'm comfortable on an island against anybody, including TJ Watt, and I'm paraphrasing. Well, only a few times did that happen in the game, and when that happened, TJ Watt does what TJ Watt does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Flirting with danger.
Flirting with danger.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, Doran, that it was one of the dumber coaching decisions of the game to go man-to-man, mano-a-mano, at a critical moment. But both Brian Dable and Daniel Jones after the game said that Daniel Jones was supposed to motion the tight end over there to get in on TJ Watt. Well, you didn't.
Right.
You didn't.
You would think that that'd be in the forefront of your mind if you're a Daniel Jones, that one of the best players in the NFL that can absolutely wreck a game. Yeah, I probably want to get help just for my sake, not just for my offensive tackle's sake. For my sake.
It's the stuff like that you watch him and you go, that's not a guy.
Right.
Like there was the whole shot down the sideline. You and I were talking about it before the show where Minkah Fitzpatrick comes over and knocks the ball out. Our guy, Darius Slayton, future Steeler, and did a good job not maiming him there. A couple years ago, I think Minkah sends the guy into the 15th row.
Yeah, well, Atlanta.
That's right. That happened there. Yeah. Good point. It's a hell of a play, but the ball comes out half a second too late. You need to know you got to motion the tight end over to deal with TJ Watt. It's stuff like that where you're not franchise quarterback capable. And Russell Wilson does all the little things well. One bugaboo I had was Russ snapping the ball with 20 seconds on the play clock when they were trying to run it out late, and then that's the play that he fumbled. But they were trying to use tempo to their advantage because it had been effective for them. But Russ just does all those little things well. They're signaling at the line. He's got the cadence going. He knows where to go with the football. And maybe the arm's not what it used to be. I mean, the throw to Pickens down the sideline sure would scream that it is. But the mental side of things, he's as sharp as he's ever been.
Sharp. It's the game's slow. He's played so much. We talk about it all the time. I mean, the levels that he's played at, there's not a defensive front or a blitz that he hasn't seen.
Yeah.
100 times.
Yeah, you're not going to confuse me.
No, you're not going to. And like that should be your game plan if you're a D coordinator. Like, hey, we're not going to confuse this guy, so we got to figure out another way to stop him.
Yeah.
So he knows that defenses aren't even going to even flirt with doing that to him.
It's a tough offense to pin down right now because they can run the ball effectively and they get Russ on the move, and sometimes they'll tempo you, and every eligible actually is a threat to catch the ball. It's refreshing. Back to the defense, Alex Highsmith. Poor Chuba Hubbard. Not Chuba. That's the guy from Oklahoma State who went to Carolina.
Yeah.
Mother
Chris.
Hubbard. Thank you. Poor Chris Hubbard gets yanked off a practice squad, and hey, here's Alex Highsmith, and then on some third downs, TJ Watt. Highsmith, 12 pressures, 6 quarterback hits, 2 sacks. TJ Watt, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. And that's what these guys are supposed to do. But when they do it, you still got to give them credit. By the way, congratulations go out to Cam Hayward, his 202nd game. That is the most now all-time for a Steelers defender, passing Donnie Shell, who had 201, Mel Blount with 200, Deshae Townsend, Deshae, 183, Joe Green, 181. And he got emotional talking about it after the game. We'll hear that later on in the show. 412-928-9370. Let's take some calls real quick. 3 400-yard games under Arthur Smith for the Steelers offense. 5 times in 15 games since Canada was fired. 0 times under Matt Canada in 44 games. Sometimes the fans and the media, sometimes we do know better. They just let Canada keep calling freaking plays and trying to develop their franchise quarterback, and we're screaming from the rafters, fire this guy. They do, and it works out.
Yep.
Sometimes it works that way. Sometimes you say things like the Steelers' run defense is the best in the league, and they don't get run on, like I did yesterday, and then they give up 150 yards. It goes both ways. Anthony in Oakland.
Yes.
He's never wrong. Hi, Anthony.
Thank you. Hey, Doran, I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. Those Pitt uniforms, home uniforms, well, they are really aesthetic. I really like those Pitt uniforms.
They're the best, aren't they?
Oh,
they made me I had to throw away all my ugly uniform, all my Navy block Pitt stuff because they got the good stuff now.
Oh, man, they are really nice. This is almost like San Diego Chargers 60s powder blues. I'm really aesthetic, man.
Oh, what is happening here, Arthur?
Arthur.
Okay. Yeah, I lost all my cred there. Go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
The bugaboo is now that Dallas game, and now we can see why Tomlin was so frustrated, because Dallas is horrible. You have to put up a 30 spot on them. That's their only blemish, as far as I can see in the beginning of the 8 games. Is that's the blemish, and that's probably why Fields is sitting. And because that was just unacceptable. That loss it was just terrible.
If Russ plays, I do think they're probably 7-1 right now.
Yeah.
If he plays that Dallas game, I do think they win. And here's the other thing, because Doran, you brought this up, and it wasn't talked about the day after the game. Beanie Bishop blew that coverage too, and he's not doing that anymore.
Nope. They got that fixed. A lot of the communication things, if you look and you watch this defense, nobody's kind of looking left, looking right, throwing their hands up. Everybody's kind of on the same page right now.
Yes. And the run defense, again, not good. And I'm not skating by it, or I'm not letting them skate. I'm not combing over it. The defense had its warts yesterday. Still 18 points allowed, pressure on the quarterback, 2 turnovers. You got to clean up the run defense. But we are not seeing those gaping, massive miscommunication things. They're still making them earn it, which is all you want. Like, you might beat Indy if you make them earn it. You might beat Dallas if you make them earn it. And Okay, it wasn't perfect by the defense, but at least we're not seeing that. Fan Morning Show brought to you by Guardian Protection, your hometown home and business security company. Steelers playing great football on all three sides. We'll get into the special teams a little bit. We've got Jeff Hathorn at the top of the hour, plus way more of your calls at 412-928-9370. We're celebrating the 6-2 first-place Steelers. Right now, it's a Callus headline.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
Pittsburgh Steelers, they won yesterday over the New York Giants 26-18. The Steelers are now 6-2 and in first place in the AFC North. More fan headlines, go to 937thefan.com. And now, here's Dorn.
Nearly everyone will need a lawyer at some point in life. But how do you find the right lawyer for your specific situation? The Allegheny County Bar Association Lawyer Referral Service is your trusted source for finding the right attorney for your specific case. It could be an employment situation, a tax issue, a real estate dispute, a DUI, you name it. The Bar Association will help you find the right lawyer. There's no fee to use the service, and you get a free 30-minute consultation with your lawyer. Check out the website, getapittsburghlawyer.com, or give them a call, 412-261-5555, and explain your situation. That's 412-261-5555, or getapittsburghlawyer.com.
Now, from the Spitzer Toyota Monroeville and Spitzer Acura McMurray Traffic Center.
On the traffic front, still seeing just a little bit of a slowdown coming into town on the Parkway West inbound side, right around Green Tree Hill. Everything else looking pretty good on the Parkway West. No problem on 28 or the Parkway North. From the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDK, I'm Rob Taylor on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
This traffic report brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants you to breathe out your oil change-anxiety. And breathe in automotive peace. Visit us today.
Don't miss the Panthers Insider Show every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 with Pat Bostic. The best insight with the top guests and everything you need to know about Pitt. The Panther Insider Show is presented by PGT Trucking and Macero Construction Group and brought to you by NSS Live, Ute Bebington and Nichols, Voss TV and Appliance, Come Ready Nutrition, Stoney's Brewing, and PJ Dick, Trumbull, and Lindy Group. Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Did you know the cost to American taxpayers of each illegal immigrant is nearly $9,000 per year, according to the Federation for American Immigration?